If there was one thing that I really like about social media companies all based in Silicon Valley, it's consistency. It is the consistency of their stance on banning and restricting a person's freedom of speech. For example, if there are certain conspiracy theories and stuff that you like to have a talk about or even meme about or anything with your friends, then none of that is allowed. Very, very easy to get banned from a lot of these websites if you are right wing or conservative. Even if you're just a basic bitch conservative, it's very easy to get banned. But if you are in the literal Taliban, the literal Taliban, then yeah, you can stay on the platform as long as you obey their rules, even though the rules say that things that you do off the platform can see you banned. And I think the Taliban have done a few. I mean, I've done a few things off the platform that should probably constitute a ban. It's like, for example, if you harass someone or, you get involved in some sort of spicy event, or if you say a few spicy things on your live stream, that could be enough for a ban on Twitter. But apparently, literal war crimes don't, apparently it doesn't fall under the same remit. Unlike former President Donald Trump, the faces and voices of the reconstituted Taliban regime in Afghanistan can apparently tweet to the heart's content. As long as they don't break the rules. As long as they don't break the rules. In a statement obtained by media, I think I was meant to say Medialite, Tuesday, Twitter ducked the question of whether it would bar representatives of the Islamic fundamentalist government from getting their message out 280 characters at a time, saying only that it would continue to proactively enforce its rules, outlawing the glorification of violence, platform manipulation, and spam. Twitter's top priority is keeping people safe, and we remain vigilant, the statement added. Both official Taliban spokesmen have unverified accounts on Twitter. One, Zabihullah Mujahid, has more than 310,000 followers. His most recent tweet, as of Tuesday afternoon, promoted a press conference by Taliban leaders and drew hundreds of responses, many of them from well-wishers. Dear Zabihullah Mujahid Saib, I don't know how. I don't know. I need to brush up on my Arabic. First of all, I welcome you and then congratulate you on the complete liberation of Afghanistan, read a typical message. The other spokesman, Kari Yusuf Ahmadi, has more than 63,000 followers and gained notoriety during the recent fighting for tweeting reports about the capture of various cities as the Taliban swept through the Afghan countryside. Big tech critics have expressed outrage over Twitter's tolerance toward the Taliban after it banned Trump in the aftermath of the deadly January the 6th riot at the US Capitol. Ah, yes, I forgot about that. The second 9/11. The company also recently suspended Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene after she questioned the efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines, but has permitted accounts affiliated with repressive governments like China and Iran to spread anti-American and anti-Israel propaganda. Weird, isn't that weird? It's almost like Twitter in Silicon Valley has a bit of a bias. I'm really starting to think that. Is anyone else noticing that? Why on God's green earth does the Taliban spokesman have an active Twitter account, but not the former president of the United States? Representative Madison Cawthorn tweeted Sunday. Whose side is the America-based big tech companies on? Freedom and democracy are not doing well when Twitter continues to ban Trump's account, but relays the Taliban spokespersons without any second thoughts, agreed Jerome Riviere, a member of the European Parliament representing France's far-right National Rally Party. See, because of the way things are, see, because it said France's far-right National Rally Party, my mind immediately went to, they're probably not far-right. Maybe they are, I don't know. But if the media says it, it's probably not true. That's what happens when you lie about that type of thing all the time. By contrast, Facebook has promised to enforce its ban on accounts that praise, support, or represent the Taliban on all its platforms, including Instagram. The Taliban is sanctioned as a terrorist organization under US law, and we have banned them from our services under our dangerous organization policies, a Facebook spokesperson told CNBC. A spokesperson for the encrypted chat app WhatsApp, which is also owned by Facebook, told Vice News that while we do not have access to the content of people's personal chats, However, if we become aware that a sanctioned individual or organization may have a presence on WhatsApp, we take action. Google-owned YouTube vowed to CNN Tuesday that it would terminate any account it believes to be operated by the Afghan Taliban, while TikTok told CNBC it is removing content that supports or praises the militant group. Twitter did not immediately respond to requests for comment by the Post. Now, in regards to the whole free speech thing, the issue is now here's the problem. There is a public interest in knowing what a government has to say. There is a public interest in that. And unfortunately, as of recent events, the Taliban are now the government of Afghanistan. Afghanistan is now a caliphate or, Taliban regime or whatever you want to call it. So anything that they do say and have to say is in the public interest. Now, the thing is, one thing that we talk about all the time in regards to language encouraging violence or death threats or incitement to violence and things like that is we would apply the Brandenburg test. The Brandenburg test examines lots and lots of things about a group or individual, things like any authoritative powers that they might have, what command do they have, do people listen to them, or basically, will their words cause any imminent lawless action is the term used in the legislation. So, for example, if someone says something like kill all the kuffar, but it turns out that it was just a really angry little Arabic boy who said it on Call of Duty because he kept getting team killed in hardcore mode. Now, do we think that that is going to cause any imminent lawless action? No, we don't. No one's actually going to start murdering people because of what this little boy said. Therefore, it passes the Brandenburg test, so no imminent lawless action, no action needs to be taken. However, if the Taliban itself do that, and they have a little bit of a history of doing quite a few lawless actions, like executions and torturings in the middle of the street, and things like that. So if they said anything like that, then yeah, that would fail the Brandenburg test. That really would fail the Brandenburg test because they are in charge and have authoritative powers over a lot of fundamentalist radicals who would very happily do such a thing. So that is, yeah. See, everyone goes, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? The Brandenburg test helps you. It helps you figure out where to draw the line. And the problem is, if they're on Twitter and they don't encourage or incite violence or do any of those things, then free speech. It's which I say through gritted teeth. That is free speech. However, when the incitement starts and because it's a Taliban account, it would fail the Brandenburg test. Then, yeah, I understand why they are banned. I understand it because the problem is, I mean, if they don't break the rules, private companies can do what they want. Even if it is, the literal bloody Taliban. It's oh Jesus Christ! But like I understand, however, as far as like Twitter and everything goes, it is massively hypocritical how Trump is not allowed on Twitter, but the literal Taliban are. And there's loads of people that are on Twitter that absolutely should not be. See, for example, Ramzan Kadyrov, the leader of Chechnya, the man literally carried out like a gay holocaust. They rounded up gay people, put them in camps, tortured them, and then killed them. They were even inviting members of the prisoners' family to come and kill them themselves as an honour killing to restore the family name, and a lot of them bloody did it. That man who orchestrated all of that is on Twitter. He is on Twitter. He still has his account, right? The Ayatollah of Iran, or whatever the hell you want to call him, he is still on Twitter. There are North Korean accounts on Twitter, right? It's just like the problem is the things that these people have to say. Obviously, as they are in government, they are like world leaders in a sense. Like the things they have to say are in the public interest. They are in the public interest, but I mean, Trump never did anything anywhere near as bad as what these people did, and yet he's banned. People for telling little basic bitch spicy jokes are banned from Twitter. People are banned from Twitter for misgendering someone. Like, I mean, what do you think's worse, like misgendering someone or carrying out a literal gay holocaust? Right? I mean, yeah, like people pointing out that Twitter isn't fair in the way it applies its bans. Like Twitter knows, everybody knows, it's common knowledge. They don't enact their bans or enforce their rules fairly. They don't. Like they still sort of give like a half-assed answer whenever they're questioned about it. Look, they don't. Right? Stop going. Well, why does Twitter do this? Why does Twitter do that? You know why? It's because they're biased, right? It's an accepted fact at this point, right? It's just something that you just have to accept, right? That's just the way Twitter wants to conduct its business. That's the way it can conduct its business. I don't expect consistency or, non hypocrisy from Twitter. It's just the way they are. There's nothing you can do about it. However, I do have a little bit of a cheek to talk because I have spent the last several days on Twitter LARPing as a Taliban account. And some old boomers are buying it and believing me, and it's been quite fun. The result of this is going to be a lot of laughs. I've already had a good few chuckles out of the whole situation. The other two results is I'm going to get my Twitter account banned, although maybe not, according to this article, or I'm definitely on a list. I'm definitely on a list. But yeah, Twitter. Look, Twitter is biased, right? It's been biased for a very long time, and to be honest, it's not even newsworthy anymore.